Yeah, you know what time it is. Valhalla Hour, let's go! Kick back, put on your headphones tight. Rob and Matt, bringing fire every night. From the land of 10,000 lakes, we rule the scene. With a crew so fresh, keeping it raw and clean. Minnesota Vikings, kings of the north. We wear our purple heart and let the battle roar forth. Breaking down the game, dissecting the plays. With passion so fierce, we'll set the night ablaze. So give us a follow, hit that like. Share it with your crew, you know we're about to strike. Valhalla, our podcast, living life bold, where legends are made and stories are told.
This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.
And good morning, everyone. Afternoon, everyone. Welcome to yet another episode of Valhalla Hour. I am your host, Sir SoCal. With me, as always, is Mr. Rob Haspel, Sir Rocker, Sir Southern Skull, Eric Gorecki, and Cheryl Pendleton. I would say this is the best VWO panel we've had all year.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
So before we begin, I just have a brief little statement I'd like to make because listen up. Apparently ESPN thinks they're football gods and prophecies. They looked at our schedule and said, one win in the second half of our season. That kind of pisses me the fuck off because you know what? That wasn't a December shitburger they cooked up in their fucking studio and take it seriously. But let's talk about the two biggest suspects. One of them's on Fox. His name is Mr. Colin Cowherd, the cow turd himself, and also Stephen A. Smith, who sounds like a fucking caffeine-fueled parrot. They spread their brand of nonsense like it's fucking gospel. Oh, guess what, fucking geniuses? We are the Minnesota Vikings, and we eat doubters for breakfast. And you know what? Every time you write us off, every time you doubt us, every time you pick against us, guess what? That adds fuel to the fucking fire. And we're ready just to slap our big old shitburgers that you just served up to us frozen, hot, fresh, and fully seasoned. So, you know what? Keep on talking and keep on talking because you know what? We play better when we're doubted.
You know,
So
I do agree. We always play better when we're the dog.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And honestly, it showed in some of the games. The first game, well, let's get into the most recent game. Lions Vikings 23-13 us. Was it 6 or was it 5 turnovers that Lions had?
6. It was 6.
Okay. 6 turnovers for the Lions. That's abysmal.
I mean, it just shows you what Flores, cooked up or what he had coming because I think they had 8 all season. And almost double their numbers in one game shows that either whatever Flores did or whatever the players did to get fired up really paid off because they don't make mistakes like that very often. And if we can make them make mistakes, then we did something extremely right.
Yeah. Well, Harrison Smith also should join some elite company. And that's pretty special in itself. He is a future Hall of Famer in my eyes. I don't know what the voters will say, but
my eyes too. I love that man.
Exactly.
Yeah, we all would like to upgrade the quarterback situation, the quarterback room as a whole. We can't go into next year like that. I agree.
Yeah. I mean, Van Ginkel honestly was a fucking star on Thursday.
I think he's been a star all year long. He just really stood out on Sunday.
Did he ever?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because he's got what 2 of his trademark picks this year from the little swing passes. He had one against the Giants, I think. But he just what's really been down was he missed a few games. Grenard missed a few games. Turner wasn't up to speed, and now I think with Turner stepping up, it frees up Van Ginkel to just be himself and play his style of ball, and it really pays off for us.
This is why I like Van Ginkel. Ever since he came to Minnesota, I knew he was going to be a great Viking. I didn't know he was going to be this good, especially his first game when he had that pick 6 in New York.
I can't remember that far behind, but
yeah, he took it off on like the 12 and just ran it right in on a little swing pass that he figured out from tape or whatever was coming, and he just grabbed it and ran it right in.
But also, let's get into the first game, 16-13 Minnesota, with Brosmer taking over half of the game because J.J. McCarthy hairline fracture on his hand.
Brosmer looked more comfortable in the second half of the game with the Giants than he did at all against the Lions the entire game.
Right.
He did.
But I hate to say it, but we probably protected a little better in that Giants game. But he still did not look comfortable at all. We looked more comfortable in a half versus the Giants than in a full game, against the Lions. Granted, little prep that week, but he definitely looked better to go, more ready to go as coming off the bench than starting.
Yes.
I'll say this much. With a couple weeks ago, I had said I wasn't sure about Dallas Turner. At this point, especially with and I know cap is never an issue because we have the best in the business, Rob Brzezinski, running our salary cap. We can do and get whoever we want. He'll figure out the money. It might look scary on the books, but they always manage to get what they want and they manage to pay for it. However, I am fine at this point to get either an impact quarterback to augment what we have with McCarthy, or as everybody's been saying, and I brought this up earlier before the show started, I do believe the Raiders are going to put Max Crosby out there. It's going to require a first-round pick, and it's going to require room. I would be fine with sending Javon Hargrave, Jonathan Allen, and Grenard out the door. Because you have Jalen Redmond and Levi Drake Rodriguez. You restructure Brian O'Neill. You restructure TJ Hawkinson, and you can pull the trigger on somebody on either side of the ball, like a Joe Burrow, but he's always injured. Or you can pull the trigger on Max Crosby. And then you have freaking Andrew Van Ginkel, Dallas Turner, and Max Crosby. Wouldn't that be a wrecker of a fucking front up there?
Yeah. Now, I haven't looked. What's the age difference between Grenard and Crosby? Is Crosby younger?
I want to say yes. I'm not sure how much. I'd have to look at that.
Yeah, but I haven't looked at
to the Google.
Yep, I'm looking it up.
I think to me that plays a huge decision in that. If you're getting somebody 3-4 years younger, that sells me on the deal.
Yeah. Max Crosby's 28.
So the same age as Hawk.
They're the same age.
Okay.
I guess I was thinking Max was a year younger, but he's not. I think in college they were, but they're the same age. They're both 28 years old. So
why was I thinking Grenard was closer to 30? Like around 30, 29, 30, 31. I don't know.
And why would the Raiders release Crosby?
Oh, they're in a big fight right now because they benched him saying he's hurt and he's saying he's not. He walked out of their building on Thursday, Friday.
Yeah, he wants to
Oh.
play the final 2 games. The Raiders are shutting him down. And that's, to me, that signals that he's trade bait more than anything. I was
I
listening
didn't
to
know all that.
sports radio this morning on the way to the gas station and back. That's all everybody was talking about is just wait until they start taking offers for Max Crosby. Every team in the league is going to have some kind of a package or an offer that they're going to put in for him.
Yeah, there's not very many teams that wouldn't want him. I mean, you could say we're fringe because of what we have already. Texans may be another one not in, but you're looking at possibly 2 out of 30 teams, well, 3 counting the Raiders, that won't want to add him. I mean, you have Daniil Hunter and was it Will Anderson Jr. in Houston. They're probably comfortable with that. We're probably borderline with Grenard, Van Ginkel, and Turner. So yeah, I mean, you're looking at a lot of competition, and that could be huge steal for the Raiders with 20-some teams competing for one guy.
Yeah.
Well, we have a great defense already. We need a goddamn quarterback that's gonna not get hurt.
That is
And
true.
every little fucking, excuse my French, but every little sack, every little throw, every little fall, trip, slip. I don't know, man. This is crazy. Like Wentz is hurt.
If we would have scored every time that we took the ball away from the Lions, we probably would have won 40 to like 13.
Yeah. But,
Yeah.
my thing too is we had 2 opportunities where we turned the ball over. All we needed was 7 to 8 yards. We didn't even need a first down, and we're in Riker's field goal range, and we lost yardage on all 3 plays.
Because he got sacked. So how many sacks did he got sacked like 6 times, didn't he? 6 or 7?
That goes back to free agency. Will Fries got dominated by Hutchinson, just absolutely dominated. I think PFF gave him a grade of 10.5. Like, that's our one of our high money free agents on that offensive line. And he looked just awful against Aiden Hutchinson. Now, granted, Hutchinson's all pro, perennial Pro Bowler. But still, that's, and if you look back through last year, Fries played 5 games and graded out great in all 5 games before he got hurt. He's got 5 good games this season where he's above average. So is that his ceiling, 5 above average games a year? Then we screwed up bad.
Well, and I think they put their best foot forward at what they thought they were doing to fix the offensive line in the offseason. Ryan Kelly, when he's played, has played well, but for the sake of the rest of his life, his kids, his family, and his mental well-being, he needs to retire like now, tomorrow.
Yeah, because he's on another concussion, correct?
Yeah, a person can only handle so many of them in their life, and then you get TBI, you get CTE in football, I guess, but I've just seen what people that get massively concussed with IEDs from combat experience in vehicles, roadside bombs going off, and just general being concussed in this way, that way, or whatever, and the TBI and what it does to you, and how you slowly lose your sanity and you lose your mind over time. And that's what's happening with Jim McMahon. That's what's happening now. Tommy Kramer announced that he's had it for a while, and he just came public with it. And Tommy Kramer quit drinking for about a year now and everything to try to prolong his life and everything. Ryan Kelly needs to think what the rest of his life is going to look like. You cannot have that many brain injuries.
Right.
Yeah, I think he's on 9 in his career, and he's had 4 with us in one season.
For his own good, even though when he is able to play, he plays well. For his own good, he needs to be done.
Yeah,
exactly.
Hey, bring him back as the O-line coach.
Speaking of the O-line coach, here's something else. I can't tell you how disgusted I am watching the likes of Garrett Bradbury go to a different team and play well. Ed Ingram, one of the worst guards I've ever seen, go to another team and play well. I really think if anybody needs to go due to a firing this year, it's our O-line coach, and let's get somebody else in there.
You know, and what's funny is when we hired him 4 years ago, he was like the cream of the crop. It was like hiring, O'Connell for head coach. That was the best offensive line coach out there because he was assistant with Denver. And he was like the number one prospect for taking over as an O-line coach in the league. And we got him and we were excited. And you look at the fact that Ezra Cleveland's played well, Ingram, Bradbury, even Vidarian Lowe is back in the league starting at left tackle for the Patriots because their starter's injured. That's 4 offensive linemen that we just let go away that are all playing for playoff teams, and something ain't right. And I feel bad because Chris Cooper was that guy. He was supposed to be the next big big name offensive line coach, and he has just not lived up to expectations.
Right. I will
Can you
say
tell
that.
me, and who made this decision in the fourth quarter against the Lions and Vikings on Sunday? It was 3rd and 20 something. Why did we effing run it?
Just so we wouldn't turn it over.
Yeah, yep. To just give Ryan Wright a chance to pin him back. Our defense is already.
But he got sacked anyway, so it didn't matter.
Right. Yeah, I do wonder about some of this stuff, some of the play calling sometimes, but
Like, who would have made that call? Coach or the O-line?
Makes the play calls.
I'm sorry?
O'Connell makes all the play calls.
Kevin O'Connell, our head coach.
Yeah. Okay.
And I think that's part of the issue we had with all the sacks too. I think he wants to get the ball deep to Jefferson and to Addison. And we just don't have the time with the offensive line issues we've had to throw the 25, 30-yard ball down the field. And he's put both McCarthy and Brosmer in positions where they have to make reads down the field, and they just don't have time to do it. And, we're not seeing enough, in my opinion, enough slants and underneaths and quick hitches and stuff to get going to where these D-backs have to cheat up, and then we can take it over the top. I feel like he's putting them with some of his play calling in bad spots to make bad decisions or to get sacked.
I want to go and try and find Max Brosmer's passing chart, and I could be wrong on this, but if there was none, there was only about 1 or 2. I don't think I've seen one single crossing route or an attempt at a crossing route or an attempt to let Brosmer put it over the middle to anybody. Everything he threw was out, quick toss, in the backfield, trying for stuff on the sidelines. I didn't see one single slant, one single crossing route, anything to benefit Hackinson wasn't playing. So anything to benefit what Addison, Jefferson, Naylor, or Josh Oliver or anybody does well that we've done all year long.
There was one I remember. It was a completion to Sims. Was it Sims? The second or third string tight end?
Yeah, that was the tight end that we had playing.
Where it hit him in the hands, and he bobbled it and caught it. That was the only one right over the middle I remember. But yeah,
I agree
feel
with
like
what
we're
Chris
missing
said,
opportunity.
What Chris Weeb said right there. I don't think the Vikings have the quarterback to get the ball to them. I think he's absolutely correct.
Yeah, we don't right now.
I don't know if JJ is the answer either. What do you guys think about JJ? Is he the answer?
To be honest, this is something that drives Vikings fans nuts because I want JJ McCarthy to succeed more than anybody else. But if I'm being honest, sitting here on December 27th, 2025, after what I've seen this year, I'm just going to go ahead and say that we're in big trouble if we don't have another option at quarterback.
Yeah, it ain't Brosmer and it ain't Wentz.
And it's
I
not-
wanted it to
no.
be Wentz. I wanted
No,
it to be Wentz so bad because that kid is from my state, my home state, right? And he did so well for NDSU for 4 or 5 years. I really wanted to be him because Vikings is his childhood favorite team.
Right.
But he looked like shit too. And he's looked like shit in the Eagles. He's looked like shit in the other teams that he's been on. I don't know.
My opinion goes back to March of 24 or April of 24 when the Vikings went to the podium and said JJ McCarthy, and I went, "Oh fuck."
Yep. Oh,
I
I was there. Matt was at the draft with me too.
Why'd you say that?
I was on the Knicks stream from day one.
I wanted Drake
you
May.
want to go Knicks?
Yep.
I wanted Drake May, and Eric wanted Bo Nix, and either or are looking like great since. I mean, they both kind of had a bit of a rough rookie year, but Drake May, when playing, has looked awesome this year. Bo Nix has the Denver Broncos. Are they the number 1 seed still in the AFC?
Right now, the Broncos are, but you also got to look too. Right now, winning percentage of all the Patriots' opponents is .391. They've only beat 2 teams with winning records all season.
Yeah, that does actually mean something too, I guess.
Yeah.
But
Now, I watched that Denver game, and I don't think Bo looked amazing.
No, he didn't.
But, I mean, he still beat the Chiefs, but then again, they didn't have Mahomes, so can you really compare Bo Nix playing against the Chiefs when the Chiefs don't have their star QB?
No, you can't.
Yeah.
No.
So,
But also, they've been to the playoffs 2 years with Knicks, but they also have phenomenal defense, which we have.
Yeah.
Now, with all that being said, if McCarthy is our quarterback, I will support him 100%.
100%.
Yes.
Yep.
100%. But my opinion in that draft was Bo Nix, because I knew, and it came out afterwards, the Patriots, we tried to give the Patriots everything for that pick, and they did not want it. Like 3 or 4 first rounders, second rounders, and they would not bite. May was their guy all the way. So,
we would have had to trade up to Chicago.
Yep.
Here's what I think frustrates the fans. And I've said this before a couple weeks ago, but I mean, all we would have had to do, even with backup quarterbacks, is just not do dumb things. We could have won in Pittsburgh versus Pittsburgh, and we could have beat the Bears and swept the Bears. Those are 2 games we should have won the freaking game. With no quarterback to speak of this year, we would have been a 10-win team at this point instead of an 8-win team. How crazy is that? That does say that you have talent on your roster. You're just lacking the most important position that there is, or any consistency at it. Whether it's injury, whether it's skill, whatever. If you don't have a quarterback, you don't have a quarterback. But Justin Jefferson in his prime, Darisaw in his prime, Addison in his prime, Hawkinson in his prime, Josh Oliver in his prime, Brian O'Neill at the end, probably not in his prime anymore. This window is short. We wasted the season because we absolutely fucked up at the quarterback position.
Darisaw needs to stop getting hurt though too.
That is also, yes. I don't think he would. I think they pushed him back.
Is he in his
service
prime?
too early. I think they pushed him back into service too early because they were panicking about how Wentz was getting destroyed and McCarthy had gotten hurt early. And I don't think he was ready to come back off that knee. I think he exacerbated the injury. And I feel like if they do keep him, and he's not going to play on Sunday. They're going to keep him shut down. He's done for the year. Give him the entire year to come back, and then I think he'll be good next year. He's not going to have this nagging on the field, off the field stuff. I think they rushed him back, but he's never going to say no because nobody wants to be on that field worse than Darisaw. Of course, he's going to yell, "Oh, you're going to let me play? Fuck yeah, let's get it." I mean, he's never going to be like, "Nah, I'm not quite there." Of course, he's going to go play.
Right. I
I agree
looking
with.
back. Oh, sorry, Cheryl. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I agree with what Chris Weeb is saying right there that KOC is stuck on JJ, which is fine. I mean, JJ was kind of pushed into things, last year got hurt, kind of pushed into it this year. Wentz is definitely not the answer. But there was a time where Brosmer threw in the third or fourth quarter, and he was looking to his right, and Naylor and Jefferson were both open on the left. More Naylor than Jefferson, but I just don't know what Brosmer's doing. And do you think we should have kept Darnold? Do you think Darnold would be playing as good for us this year like he did last year?
If we had Darnold, we probably have 12 wins right now, but we could not match the pay or the years that Seattle offered him. I mean, that it couldn't have been done, and in order to keep him, they would have had to match that money and pay it all out in 1 year. That we did not have money for, and we just did not have the money for it under the salary cap. What they gave him on a 3-year deal, we would have had to match that money and pay it all in a bonus or lump sum throughout the season and everything. We'd have to pay it in 1 year, and we would have been over the cap. We couldn't have done it.
If we had Darnold, we would have been out for the year, week 3. Really, Luca? Interesting. And as for Hawkinson did really well last year. He was really great as my TE. He did shit this year, but is that a quarterback thing too of not throwing passes to him?
Every single Viking skill position player has done shitty this year because when you don't have somebody to throw you the ball, you can't catch the ball. You can't get yards. You can't catch touchdowns.
Jets didn't get shit either. I felt bad for Jefferson. I was like, and then on seeing all this shit about Jefferson wanting to leave. I mean, obviously that's just rumor shit, but
yeah, he doesn't.
How do you think Jets feels? Does he want to be on his team again if he's not going to get his? I mean, he did make a record though the other day that he passed his 6 years. Pat beat Moss, but in yards in his first 6 years.
Let's look this up here right now. He is at 947. He needs 53 yards and not losing one single yard to get his 1,000-yard season to keep his streak intact. Can Brosmer or McCarthy, if he comes and plays, which I'm just kind of just bracing myself for Brosmer, can Brosmer hit him about 4 or 5 times for 10-yard passes and get him that 53 yards?
Yes.
He needs to.
He can.
And he needs to, though.
Our luck is he gets 48 yards. That's going to be
like Adrian Peterson did. You remember when Adrian Peterson got short that 1 year?
Yeah.
Was it him? Yeah.
Yeah.
He only needed like 10, something like that, and he got shorted out, and I was like, oh my God.
So I have a radical off-season idea to shake up the coaching staff a little bit. So KOC gives up play calling duties to Wes Phillips. I don't think Wes Phillips is going anywhere this offseason. I don't think Brian Flores is going to go anywhere this offseason. Flores might get some interviews, but he won't go anywhere because of the lawsuit that is still going on.
He better not.
Well, here's the thing. Flores is basically what you'd consider a free agent at the end of the season. His contract expires on, was it March 8th, whenever this new season starts? So we have to pay him now, and I say we give him head coach money.
I agree because he's not going to get head coach until that lawsuit and litigation is arbitrated and wrapped up, and that could be 2 to 3 years out. If we pay him the money, and that's not anything that counts in terms of anything. That's just the Wilfs need to break out the checkbook and sit him down in a room, push a piece of paper over to him, and say, write down a figure that makes you happy, and push that piece of paper back across the table to us. Mark Wilf reads it, signs the check, hands it back to him, and says, we'll see you for the next 4 years. That's how that needs to work right there. That fucking easy. They just need to do it.
Luca's got jokes today, by the way.
Oh, he always does.
I don't know.
Luca needs to come on the podcast. What he needs to do.
I agree.
And then we fire our offensive line coach, Chris Cooper.
And
Yeah.
replace him with who? And replace him with who?
Our assistant O-line coordinator, Keith Carter.
See, I don't know anything about those people.
We got some very good people on the coordinating staff. Our quarterbacks coach, fucking Josh McCown. You know, he's played the game himself.
He may be our biggest loss off of the season. He may end up being an O coordinator somewhere.
Speaking of which, something that definitely terrifies me. How long do we have Keenan Cardell locked up?
Don't know. I really like him though.
That would scare the fuck out of me if we lost Keenan Cardell. He's our best skill position coach by a country mile at the wide receivers coach. Oh, I can't find anything on it.
So go back a little bit. I kind of look back over our last 5 wins, and one of the guys that I chat with on Marco Polo, Bluestone, has the 21 rule. If you score more than 21 points and your defense can hold teams to below 21 points, on average, you're going to win games. So I look back over our last 5 wins, and we're averaging right around 26 points a game, and we're giving up about 14 and a half a game over the last 4 games, which is pretty damn good. So our 5 games over our last 5 games. So the season, as it comes to an end, whatever changes we made from the beginning, as far as giving Redmond more reps, LDR more reps, Turner's getting better, Donovan Jackson getting better. It's paying off because we're looking better on those numbers alone, but the experience is coming to some of these young guys. We need to get it.
Yeah. So Keenan McCardell was renewed by O'Connell in 2022, but they have not publicly released the length of the contract or the amount, although it just says that it's substantial.
I would say that's a 4 or 5 year deal.
Probably.
I just saw something on Facebook saying that Jones, our running back Jones, is up for $14 million. Do you think we should keep him?
No.
I love Jones, but the only way Jones is a weapon and a threat is if we actually have stability and a good quarterback. He had the best year of his pro career last year, and he's having one of the worst ones this year. He is not able to just be a powerhouse running back without the running game or without the passing game to set up his run game. It ain't worth the money. But then again, that means
Chandler played pretty decent on Sunday.
What's that?
I said Chandler played pretty decent on Sunday.
I'm not a huge fan of Ty Chandler. I like what we have with Jordan Mason. I do feel like we need to draft a Jones type of runner. It looks like we're going to draft around 15th right now. This is going to fluctuate because nobody's going to know for sure where they're at until the regular season's done. But do you guys think that running back from Notre Dame, that Love kid, is going to go in the top 10?
Yes.
Yeah.
We'd have to move up to get him.
I think top 12 for sure.
Well, if we wouldn't win out, we might be up there, but we're winning. So
yeah,
I think we are in this last spot or the second to last spot in the draft of non-playoff teams. So like 17, 18 is where we're going to, 16 areas where we're going to be. I don't know if Love makes it that far. I really don't. His backup, or the guy who runs with him in Notre Dame, is like number 2 running back in the draft from a lot of people. And the kid from Washington, Jonah Coleman, is like number 3.
Yeah.
It's not, this draft isn't as deep in running back as the last couple of years, but there's still some really good ones out there. My question, When Mason got hurt, we used a lot of Xavier Scott, and he seemed to run all right. Where was he on Thursday?
I don't know if he's out
forgot
too
about
or
him.
not. I was looking forward to seeing that. And Luca just said refs screwed us out of a win against Philly. To be honest, we screwed ourselves out of a win against. We were talking about this earlier, Luca, before you popped on. Pittsburgh should have been a win, and the second time we faced the Bears definitely should have been a win, and that's 100% on us doing stupid shit. We'd be a 10-win team going in the playoffs without a quarterback instead of a 10 or 8-win team out of the playoffs without a quarterback. That's what the difference is right now. But I mean, it's funny because when we have an absolute ass rotten year like we are this year, we're still an 8-win team and possibly could be a 9-win team, even though we'll get to it later when we preview the Packers. I'm not sure we're going to win that, but anything could happen. As
Any
was
given
shown
Sunday.
on Christmas Day, our bad years are still 7-8 win years. I mean, we don't, if we want to go up to get any of these guys, we're going to have to trade up to do it. This year, we might actually have the draft capital to do it.
Yeah.
We do.
I personally don't want to go to the playoffs when we're playing so shitty. So, I mean,
Well, yeah.
understandably what Lucas says that if we would have won against Philly, we could have gone to the playoffs. Yeah, but we get knocked out in the first round, and it's embarrassing, at least in my eyes. And I'd rather us not go to the playoffs because we really ain't going to make it much further. I mean, sure, you can. It can happen. But has it? Not for us. But, and as for Sunday's game against, well, whenever we're playing the Packers, I don't even know what day we're playing them. Has that even been released officially?
Not yet.
Not yet. So. It's either Saturday or Sunday.
And I saw Will said something about Sunday, Will Stein, but I don't think we're going to beat the Packers even with Love not playing. So
if Packers lose the division, they're going to rest their starters.
I think if the Packers get beat tonight, that we're not going to see their full effort or
no
by any stretch of the imagination.
Oh, then we need them to lose tonight.
Yes.
I always root for the Packers to lose. Don't get me wrong. I just Packers are ass. You're not.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. If the Packers win today, not lose. If they win, I don't think we're going to get any of their starters. If they lose, that's when we got to worry. I said that wrong.
I don't think. I think either way, they're going to rest them because they've got the last spot. They're in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do have a point. You do have a point. We might not get their best effort no matter what. I think they just want to get out of there so they're already looking at the playoffs.
And they're already down, Micah Parsons. Love's banged up. Watson isn't 100%. Didn't they just lose their starting left? What's his name? Tom Zach, one of their starting offensive linemen, got banged up pretty bad. They're just trying to get healthy at this point.
And speaking of the playoffs, speaking of the playoffs, with the win on Thursday, we knocked Detroit out of the playoffs, into Cancun, and into the basement.
Let's do heroes and zeros from that game. Matthew.
You know what? I'm going to have to give Van Ginkel the absolute hero. And I just can't, say enough about his effort. Plus how he had that, what was the strip sack, fumble recovery, whatever the second one he had. He gave the ball to his freaking kid. How cool is that?
That was pretty dope.
It was awesome.
The zeros is definitely going to be Brosmer. I mean, but I also want to give him the hero because that 3 positive passing yards and we still beat the Lions by 13.
Right.
Only in the Vikings can we do that.
Yeah. My hero is going to go to a guy that I've been pretty tough on all year long, but he really showed up and showed me something. I'm giving my hero to Dallas Turner. My zero is definitely going to Will Fries. Yeah, Eric.
Yeah, my hero is going to be a toss up between Van Ginkel and Turner. I think more so Turner. He was just everywhere in that Detroit game. He was chasing Goff down. He was stopping the run. He was just, and even if he wasn't making the tackle, he was taking up 2 blockers at a time, just being the guy we needed him to be all season. And 0 would be the offensive line specifically. Actually, I shouldn't even say that because Juergens played pretty well. School played pretty well too. So it's got to be Fries because he just got embarrassed out there. So yeah, I'm going with the same as Rob.
Okay, we got one last chance for Cheryl to somebody to say Harrison Smith for the hero, but I'm not trying to influence anything. Cheryl, who's your hero and who's your 0 from the game?
Oh, my hero will always be Harrison Smith. I have loved that dude since he was on it was in Mankato back in 2017, and he was willing to take a picture of me at the bar after the game, and I have his jersey. And it's signed, and so it will always be forever Harrison Smith. And I just posted something the other day. I'm really sad to see that this is his last year. So when they really honored him at the game on Christmas, when they did the whole, bow to him antics or whatever they were doing, that's my guy. I've forever had a crush on the dude too. So.
Yeah. Luca, yes. Will the Thrill is always the hero. Speaking of which, if you can give me one thing in the Packers game other than a victory, I really, really, really want Kevin O'Connell, even if we know it's a bad idea, line him up and let him try to set the NFL record for the longest field goal. Give us one freaking thing this year, man. It's been a tough season.
Which is what? How many yards? Because Will has already done. He's already done a 58.
No, it was 64, but I think it's 65 now, isn't it, Eric? Or
64, 65, yeah.
But it's about goddamn time we have a kicker, though.
Yeah, 68 yarders.
68.
Really?
Cam Little this year.
I want to see Will. Oh, hold on.
Has Will been practicing at our practice field? That's 68.
Well, I'm sure he has. I'm sure he goes out at the end of every practice and lines one up from 68 and a half and kicks it.
So basically, I just want Kevin O'Connell to give him a shot at a 70-yarder, and let's end this year on something of a positive note. Will the Thrill.
I like that. I like that idea. I'm all down for it. I mean, the worst comes to happen, he's going to miss it, and we lose the game. I don't care if we win or lose on, against them. Yeah. I would like to beat the Packers. Don't get me wrong. However, I don't think it's going to happen.
I would like to end the year with a winning record, saying that we beat every team in our division and swept one of them. And we did all of this with no quarterback to speak of. And then it just gives you hope that if we can get a actual quarterback stable of guys, and it's going to have to be more than 1 or 2. I mean, we're going to need to bring a group of quarterbacks in next year to retool this thing. It gives you hope that we have talent on this roster and we can do stuff. We just need a quarterback.
A quarterback. Simple quarterback. We need a freaking quarterback.
I would have been more than happy excuse me, to take an 8-8 or 9-8 or 8-9 record if McCarthy stays healthy, learns, develops. He's still got to work on his touch passes. He's still got to learn to read defenses a little bit. I would have taken this record, not in the playoffs, with a healthy McCarthy all season and him developing into what he could be. Because right now we still don't know what we have. We don't have any clue what we have with him.
Yeah, and he can't. He's only played 9 games?
Yeah.
10 total
in the last 2 years or just this year?
He didn't play all.
He played one game last year, and then
No, that was a preseason game.
yeah,
Yeah.
so it didn't count at all. So realistically, the only games he's played this year, is he 4-5 or 5-4? I think it's 9 total games he's played.
And I think he's 5-4.
Yeah, we don't. It's just so frustrating because the best ability is availability, and he is not available. I mean, is it bad luck? Could this streak of luck turn around? But it seems like, if somebody farts in him in the wrong general direction, he's going to be out for 2 games. I mean, we can't develop a quarterback if you're not on the field playing and developing.
So at this point, if he's good enough to play on against the Packers, do we play him or we just rest him and hope he gets better?
Nope, you put his fucking ass out there. He needs every snap he can get.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't give a shit. He, at this point in time, he owes the Vikings something. The Vikings don't owe him shit. He needs to have his ass out in the fucking field, and he needs to play. And he needs to fucking play competently.
Yeah.
And no more of these batted passes. That was the first play of the game against the Giants. Chesterton he didn't need to text me or nothing. He knew immediately I was going to be erupting, sitting on my couch watching that. My comment all year long is JJ McCarthy has more batted balls than the fucking Minnesota Twins did all this year.
Wow.
Shit has got to stop.
You may be right though. That's what game? It was the game before that. Was it the Packers? No. What game was it? He threw the Cowboys game.
Yeah,
First,
that was especially bad.
And picked off. And then the first play of the Lions game was batted and picked off, or not picked off, but batted.
Yeah,
it's like he had more blocked passes than you're right. Then the Twins had probably extra base hits last season.
So
yeah,
we
forgot.
In a little bit in his defense, the receivers have let him down quite a bit this year. I think we lead the league in drop passes. So a little bit in his defense is it's hard to get confidence and throw the ball right if your receivers keep dropping the fucking ball. I think we had 7 or 8 in that one game alone, and it's just like, give the kid a chance. So in his defense, our receivers haven't really helped him out much at all.
Right. And one thing in life, and it doesn't matter if you're playing a pro sport, if you're at work doing a desk job, if you're a blue collar worker working a physical job, if your frustration costs you concentration in any aspect of life and anything that you do, you can be sitting at home trying to be a family man or a family woman, whatever. If you're frustrated, frustration costs you your concentration. These guys have been frustrated all year, and that is why you're seeing all these drop passes. They expected they were going to go off of another year where they're 1,600 yards receiving for JJ, another 10 touchdowns for Addison doing Addison things. Hawkinson was finally back 100% healthy. He wanted to bust out. Every one of those guys is just maddeningly frustrated right now. And when you're frustrated, you do shit like you drop passes, and that's not the only byproduct of it. But I'm telling you right now, that's what we're seeing.
Yeah, we missed one of the biggest things this week. Justin Jefferson has the record for most yards by a player in his first 6 seasons.
Yep.
And he is going to be a Hall of Famer.
Oh, and you go back to shitty quarterback play this year. Didn't play the first 3 games his rookie year. And was it last year or the year before where he missed 6 games with that hamstring? Dude, think about where he'd be.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he from the first game he played against the Titans started lighting shit up. And Zimmer had him on the bench for first 2.5 games? Come on. This guy should be well above where he's at with that talent he has.
Yeah, and like I said, 54 yards It's all we're asking for is 54 yards to Justin Jefferson on Sunday to at least have another good note as we wrap this season up with our last game.
Flea flicker right out the gate to Jefferson. Let's just take it out first play.
Yep. You know, if we had Cam Akers still, because we keep bringing him in and letting him go and whatever, if we had him, he could toss it for fucking 80 yards down the field.
Unfortunately, probably our emergency backup quarterback is probably Jefferson. I don't think he could throw it that far to himself.
Probably.
Although he may.
Not.
Wait, don't we have another backup behind Brosmer right now because JJ is not healthy?
Yeah, it's Wolford. Or Wolford.
Why don't they put him in? Let's see what he plays like. Jesus Christ. Can it get any worse?
I don't know if we want to answer that.
No, I don't know if I want to see. I don't know if I want to see if it can.
I mean, seriously, can it get any worse? And by the way, Luca, were you wearing your Addison outfit on Christmas at the game? Or I don't know if you went to the game, actually. Were you wearing your Addison suit? Because the play by Addison was amazing. So
Yeah, that 65-yard rushing touchdown by him.
Yes.
Holy shit.
That Wildcat was that's amazing that worked. But
did you see the guy just coming from his left though? It was like faster than the guy that was chased, just goes zoom, and I'm like, holy shit, he's gonna get knocked out. And then that little leap, that was pretty good. So
yeah, I didn't think he made it in at first. I really didn't. From the angle, it didn't look like his ball made it over the pylon.
When they showed the overhead shot, that's when I knew that it was good because that ball did go right over top that pylon. So,
which thankfully for that rule that that happened. But from my view in the loft suites, I couldn't tell. I was like, oh, here we go. So I don't know.
But what about O'Connell actually using both challenges to challenge first downs or ball placement? That was usually you don't use them for something like that. That's pretty risky. One paid off, one didn't.
There was a place I thought he should have used a challenge and he didn't. God, what was that? I can't remember.
I don't remember.
There was a place that I thought he should have used a challenge. I think it was in the first or second quarter. It was pretty early in the game.
Yeah.
And instead they called a timeout. So we thought they were going to do it, but he didn't. I don't know. Just happy we won. Glad about that, but
4-0 in the month of December.
well,
I will say that just watching that defense hit, I mean, Amon-Ra St. Brown regretted a lot of the catches he made because he was in pain getting up off that field. I mean, they were all over it on the defensive side of the ball. And if we could just get that same kind of effort on offense.
And I don't think he looked that good either.
No.
But that, again, that goes back to quarterback issues, right? I mean, Goff couldn't do shit. So.
Yeah, what did we hold Gibbs to, like 136 yards over 2 games rushing?
I was going to say, wait a minute, he didn't get that many on Thursday, so then I heard you say 2 games. So
yeah, over 2 games. I don't even think it was that much.
I think it was like 65 in one and 60 something in the other. I don't remember exactly.
Yeah, it was probably right around 130, I guess. Yeah.
And he was the one I was worried about for my fantasy team. The guy I was playing against had Gibbs, and he only got like 3 or 7 points. I was like, dude, and he was projected to get like 15 or 20. So that's in itself, that's amazing. I love our defense. I love our defensive coach, and we better not let him go. We better pay his ass. So
one of Lucas' points, and we got about 5 minutes left. Realistically, about 4. So we're going to have to go around and do final thoughts. I would agree with Luke 100%. Not only is he not going to play Love, he's not going to play a lot of the guys. I mean, they're going to be lucky to be in the playoffs the way it is. They don't have their best player on offense, which is Tucker Kraft. And they need to just do what they can to get into the playoffs with as many healthy guys as possible. What are we thinking on the Packers going around the horn here, you guys?
well, since you put it that way, yeah, we'll win. Since you threw all that stuff, and yeah, they're going to want to take their healthy, take a healthy team to playoffs, even though they're not going to get very far because they're still a shitty team. Yeah, then I think we can beat them. And that's sad to say that we have to rely on their backups to beat them. But with our quarterback issues, I don't know.
Yeah.
If it's gonna play out like that, we'll win. So that's my opinion.
Yeah, it's hopefully I don't know what, like, our quarterback, like you said, our quarterback situation is so up in the air. If our defense plays half as good as they did against Detroit, we win. It's going to be something like 5 Will Riker field goals. Hopefully, the last one from 70.
Yeah.
And
let's tweet that so KOC can read that. Like, let's just try once.
I'm gonna tweet them.
I just, hopefully, like, they're banged up on defense too, so hopefully we can get some kind of semblance of offense going. I don't know what it's going to take, but if we can get more than 3 net passing yards, we win the game.
Yeah. I think no matter what happens today, Green Bay's not going to play their starters. If they win today and the Bears win, everything's done. Green Bay's gonna rest their starters, and we're not gonna get a wholehearted effort.
Yeah, it's the smart move for them to do, honestly. But to Cheryl's point, they're not going to go anywhere in the playoffs anyway, so they might as well play the first round healthy.
If Chicago doesn't lock up the 1 seed and they have to play Chicago Green Bay in the wild card round, I'll tune in.
I'm really happy that Chicago has actually done so well this year. It's been a long time coming for them, and it just gives me optimism for us someday. Right. But, to get back up there again. But I'm actually very happy that the Bears are beating the Lions and Packers this year. So.
Yeah, it seems like the Bears once every 7 or 8 years will have their run to the playoffs and stuff like that. And, it reminds me of the year, KOC's first year, where we had all the 1-score wins. And, obviously we got bounced right out of the first round of the playoffs. Do I think the Bears are a one-and-done team? I can't say, because it depends on who they're playing, because the NFC has a lot of not very good teams that are going to be in there as well, not nearly to the extent as the AFC, but Bears could even win a playoff game this year.
I'm hoping. I hope they do.
If they play the Packers, I hope they win.
I'll cheer for the Bears over the Packers any day, because I don't see the Bears as a threat to us like I do with the Packers. So.
Right. All right. Well, it looks like we are just about out of time. Merry Christmas. Hopefully you guys all had a good one. We will have the new year coming up before we're back on again. So Happy New Year to everybody from us here at Valhalla Hour, to all of you guys watching. Thanks for a great show, and Skol.
Skol.
Love you guys.
Sorry, I talked a lot today.
Yes. All right.
Yeah, yo, it's game time, ain't no messing around. Huddle Sports Network, the best in town. From NFL rumors to the latest trends, we got all your sports, just tune in, my friends. Catch us on Roku, Fire Stick, take your pick. Facebook, YouTube, where the action's slick. Daily shows that drop like a bomb. From 10 to 11, it's Ken and Ken, stay calm. Huddle up, catch the vibe, feel the rush. Get your news, get your fills in the clutch. Over 27 podcasts, we breaking it down. Join the team, Huddle Sports, wear the crown. Live every weekday, it's how we roll. Lions Talk with Jeremy B, we taking a stroll. From 11 to 12, don't miss a beat. We break down the game, make the info sweet. The Daily Huddle Podcast, noon to 1. CST Zone, we're just having fun. Toss your doubts, we bring the facts. Tune into the Huddle.